This is the Tiny Table Podcast. This is the Tiny Table Podcast. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new episode. We're back after a long time, and we're here actually with a very special guest. She is a Baguio girl din na nakipagsapalaran sa Manila. And she's taking up a master's in linguistics here in UP Diliman. We're in UP Diliman right now in a very secret lounge, a very secret place with the help of a few friends. And we're going to talk about linguistics in general, languages in the Philippines, communication, and their very special project regarding talking. Practically about talking. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Miss Mantha Sadural. How are you, my friend?
Hi! Kumusta po sa lahat? Do I have to speak in English?
No, not really. Kahit magmura ka pa kung gusto mo.
Hi, salamat.
So, welcome, Mantha. You're actually, for everyone's benefit and for mine also, ikaw ang pinakaunang female
Wow.
guest sa podcast ito with the vast majority of guests that we had. Three. And you're the first female guest, so congratulations with that honor.
Salamat naman.
Yes, bibigyan kita ng certificate.
I'm so honored.
It's very honorable with this show na napakalaki.
In a small table.
Yeah. Awkward silence muna with that. Anyway, welcome, Mantha. We'll talk about, again, linguistics. Medyo hindi ito normal na course. If you think about it, diba, it's not a normal course. But if you look at the Philippines, it's a very special concept. It's a very special perspective in understanding the Philippines. Maybe you can tell us muna, ano muna yung linguistics for anyone listening who doesn't understand the concept of what is linguistics.
Okay, sige. So, ang linguistics kasi is considered a soft science, but in essence, it's the science of languages. It's the scientific side of speech communication. So that's where I came from. Ang linguistics kasi really centered on how languages develop and how languages move over time. So, ang daming iba't ibang konsepto ng linguistics, ang daming iba't ibang sides niya. So, I'll start with the basic ones kasi lahat ng linguists or aspiring linguists has to go through it. Kailangan marunong kami mag-phonology.
Okay.
Phonology centers on the sounds, yung IPA, if you're familiar with the IPA, so dun talaga kami nagsasentro for the phonology, capturing the vowel space, the consonant space of the language. That's phonology. Then you have morphology. Morphology are the small bound morphemes. Morphemes are this, diba, may phonemes ka. Those are the sounds. When you attach meaning to them, those are morphemes na.
Okay.
So, pero hindi pa siya words. Pag nag-words ka, saka ka natatawid sa semantics, then saka tatawid sa syntax. Syntax is how the grammar works. And in UP Diliman, we're highly syntactic. Sobrang tindi ng focus on grammar and on syntax. Then, palawak siya ng palawak. Nandun ka na sa social linguistics, nandun ka na sa psycholinguistics. Social linguistics would focus on how our society use language, how it evolves. Then, so psycholinguistics would focus on the meaning sphere, how you say one thing but mean another. Discourse analysis is part of this. Then so many other things like applied linguistics, speech linguistics, then so yan, ang hirap yung i-explain kasi una, napaka-specific niyang course.
Yeah, because it's not something really na if you look through, if you're a kid enrolling right now,
gagawin ko dito.
Yeah, it's not really something that's easy to understand by just the mere word linguistics. Diba? I mean, may undergrad ba ng linguistics?
Meron. May undergrad ng UP. Tapos, yun nga yung common misconception eh. Parang, kailangan ba polyglot ka kung magli-linguistics ka? It helps. But, hindi naman lahat. We studied the language. We studied the structure of the language. And, for different purposes. Kasi, for some, they study linguistics so that they could help in recording a language before it dies.
Okay.
For some, so that they could apply it to computers, into computer sciences. So that's computational linguistics. Sa digital signal processing part. So, yung linguistics is highly theoretical in some ways.
Okay.
And if you apply it, minsan yung lalabas na output, kapwa linguistics din lang yung magkakaintindihan. However, ano yung mga napoproduce ng linguist na for the general public? Dictionaries. This
Okay.
one. Wala kang, ang matinong dictionary ay gawa ng isang matinong linguist. Kung hindi man you're just an enthusiast. Kasi there are ways of labeling things. Parang sa Philippine languages, sabihin natin, lakad. Ang termo ng lakad. Anong una mo iisip pag lakad? Is it a verb? Is it a noun?
Okay, so for me, it's a verb. Of course, it's a verb. To walk.
So, to walk, diba? So, pero paano kung sabihin natin may lakad ako mamaya?
So it's different.
It's different. That becomes a noun. So, you need the linguistics theoretical background to be able to capture small nuances like that. So, yan. In UP Diliman, yung focus talaga ng linguistics dito ay Philippine linguistics. We focus on Philippine type languages. Other schools kasi focus on English linguistics. Yung syntax ng English, how it works, yung binding niya, ganun. But here nga, we focus on them kasi if there's one thing na mention na rin, diba? It's a specific, it's a very important course, I believe, in the Philippines because the Philippines is what we call a language hotspot. And a hotspot means that in a land area, ilang languages yun nandun. At sa Southeast Asia, pangalawa tayo dun.
Okay, and what is the first one?
Yung first ay Papua New Guinea, which
they
is the
have more
first in the
languages?
world.
Really?
Kasi mas maliit kasi siya.
Okay.
So parang mas madaming languages sa Indonesia pero mas malawak siya. Pero yung Philippines kasi islands tayo eh.
Okay.
So you would have isolate languages, you would have different languages talaga you would have different varieties of the languages. So ang dami-dami natin lengguwahe, I believe nasa 170 something tayo.
Whoa.
Languages. Kasing dami ng isla natin halos. Diba? May kumpul-kumpul lang. Kasi may varieties pa yan. May dialects pa yan. And not every single language is thriving.
Yeah, I think in the past few years, there have been languages na namatay in essence, diba? I mean, yung last one that I heard na parang it's going to die is yung Pangasinense or Pangalatok language. It's like somewhat medyo mahina na yung language.
It's shifting. It's shifting. So, for those who will be interested, there's what we call EGIS scale, EGIDS scale.
Okay.
If you look it up online in the Ethnologue, it tracks the vitality of a language in the Philippines. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 10. 10 being extinct, 1 being yung widely used in the community. So, karamihan daw, kasi ang scale ng Ethnologue, hindi ko maalala kung updated siya eh. Pero, so far, pag nakikita namin, sinasabi nila, developing yung language. So, pag sabihin ng developing ng languages, number 5, 1 to 5 eh. Yun yung nasa gitna. Karamihan daw na language natin, nasa developing part. Pag sabihin, may mga certain, may ginagamit naman siya in local walks of life, sa loob ng school, sa loob ng pero, tapos meron din mga literature on it, pero hindi siya ginagamit sa school.
Hindi siya in formal
wala siya sa formal
setup.
setting.
Hindi siya
Oo.
ginagamit. Okay.
Sabi, halos karamihan daw ng languages in Philippines nandoon. Pero, some of them, to be honest, are already in number 6, which is vigorous nga siya, pero dun lang sa community na yon. Or meron din yung shifting na. So, dun sa pinanggalingan, kakagaling ko lang po ng Butuan. Ng Butuan. Kahapon. Kararating ko lang.
Oh, welcome back.
Doon talaga maririnig mo yung shifting. So, we all know about code switch.
Code switch, yeah.
So, madalas sa atin, we switch between Tagalog and English. Now, the idea of code switching is that your grammar, yung sinusundan mong grammar ay yung native language mo. So, tapos ang pinapalitan mo lang ay yung vocabulary.
Oh, okay.
So, doon mo makukuha na, kaya Philippine English is unique. Kasi it follows the Tagalog grammar. fitting in English words. So, meron tayong the word sa Philippine term. Yun yung unang pinatanggal sa akin. We don't use
Kindly.
Kindly. Use please. If you're dealing with Americas, use please. Kindly is
Oh.
not used.
Okay.
Thrice is not used anymore. Our language, our usage of English is very subversive, but it's another topic altogether. Pero yun, nagko-code switch sila. Now, if a language is shifting, which is going back to yung Pangasinense,
Yeah.
if the language is shifting, yung grammar nila, parang hindi na Pangasinense, nagiging Ilocana na.
Yeah, okay.
Tapos, hindi na nila kayang magsalita ng diretsong Tagalog.
Oh.
Ay, diretsong Pangasinense.
Mhm.
On top of the shifting generation would be, mapapansin mo yung mga kaya magsalita ng sobrang diretso, nasa 40s above na. Pero yung younger ones, halos wala na sa kanila.
Parang just a few words na nakuha na lang nila.
Nakakaintindi, oo. Pag inuutosan siguro, or alam na nagalit sa'yo, pero nakakaintindi, pero hindi nakakasalita.
Mhm.
They're saying na nandun na daw sa Pangasinense, but don't quote me on this kasi there are studies on that. I'm not sure kung sino gumagawa sa linguistics. Pero, ang dami ko nakakausap bilang taga-Norte na ganun na nga daw yung nangyayari. Yung mga kabataan, hindi na marunong magpangkasinense. Ano yung rason? Kasi hindi siya ginagamit sa eskwelahan.
Okay. And I think there was a specific move to use native languages,
Yeah.
diba? With DepEd now. And yung bagong curriculum, they are urged to use yung local languages sa kanilang lectures and all that. Pero how do you find it working?
That drive, pero lately lang talaga siya, 4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
They're one of the authors of that drive is actually a professor in linguistics, si Sir Ricky Nolasco. It's called the Mother Tongue-Based Multilingual Education.
Okay.
Pero, so far, sa MLE, yun yung shortcut niya, 8 lingwahe pa lang yung kinakain or yung tanggap ng sistema.
Okay.
Out of how many languages
When you
today?
said 170?
70s.
You only
Yeah.
have how many?
Walo lang
8 languages.
8 languages lang yung nakapasok doon. I believe Ilocanos there, of course. Tagalog, Bisaya. Yun ngayon yung mga
So yung
umaangat na lingwahe
malaki yung mass population of how do you call it? Users, speakers. Yun ang mas na-absorb, of course.
Oo,
I
yun
think that's
din yung
going to
mas
be
na.
common.
Sa
Okay.
Mindanao, karamihan sa kanila marunong mag-Binisaya. Yun yung termino.
Binasaya, not really Bisaya as in...
Bisaya kasi tao.
Binisaya. Okay.
Binisaya.
That's a new thing.
Cebuano, as a language, sinasabi variety siya ng Binisaya na sinasalita sa Cebuano. But don't quote me on this.
Okay.
Ang hirap ng labeling system.
Yeah.
Kailangan you have to be very precise. Pero, yun. Cebuano, parang Tagalog-Filipino.
It's not really the same thing, but may mix up.
Mamimix up.
Okay.
So, sa Cebuano. Pero yung sa ibang mga lingwahe, Binisaya. I'm not sure what's the difference. But it is what it is. That's maybe yung tawag. Yun na. Karamihan sa Visayas at saka sa Mindanao, dahil na rin na moving communities yan eh. Yung trading system, yung pagtawid-tawid.
Yeah.
Binisaya yung nagtatrive sa baba. Sa Visayas, sa baba tuloy. Sa Visayas, Mindanao. Sa Norte, pasensya na po sa baba. Taga-Norte kasi kami.
Taga-baba.
Lahat ay baba. sa Norte, Ilocano. Sa gitna, Tagalog.
Yeah.
So, those are the 3 main, I hate to say this, but ito yung mga sumasakop na lingwahe na sa Pilipinas.
Sumasakop.
And linguist, yes. Or nag-shift, kumbaga kung nag-shift yung language, one of the 3 lang siya usually.
Yeah, you would notice kung, especially here in Manila, which is kung saan bumabagsak karamihan ng tao. You would know kung iilan lang yung languages na talagang narinig mo most of the time, especially among those of the speakers. I mean, Ilocano, yes. Binisaya, as you called it. And then the generic Tagalog. Filipino language. But merong iba, but of course, yun yung mga mapapansin mo talaga when they speak kasi iilan lang when it comes to Manila. But yung mga ganong klaseng conditions ba, does it actually give problems sa other languages? I mean, there are There's Kapangan, there's Waray, it's a different
Oo.
language. Does it actually
Tip,
diminish yung kanilang yung not value but diminish yung kanilang
vitality.
usage or yung vitality, yung
yung
life?
health ng language. It somewhat does.
Mhm.
Pero it's that idea of you need to communicate eh.
Mhm.
So, ito yung mas na alam ng karamihan. So, yun yung gagamitin mo. Pero iba-iba siya sa bawat lugar.
Mm.
Waray is thriving, Kapampangan is thriving. Pero once you go out of your zone, iba na yung sasalitain mo.
That's an interesting aspect nitong language because like you said in education hindi naman kasi talaga ginagamit yung local language even if in your let's say in Pampanga hindi naman ginagamit ang Kapampangan when you're in school. And then dito yung alam mo classic na tanungan na taga saan ka, tapos when you say this area marunong ka bang magsalita, hindi. And all of that.
Ay, natatanong niya, marunong ka bang mag-Ilocano? Han ko amo.
Como, yung mga ganun, there are conditions na ganito.
Bagsit.
And I think makikita nga, as you said, makita mo nga doon sa bagong generation. I am Kapampangan. My father is Kapampangan from Tarlac. My mother is Bicolana from Camarines Sur. I don't speak either, but I understand some of the words.
Exactly.
And then I now live in Baguio, wherein Ilocano is the language, pero I suck at it, but I understand it. So parang ganun yung conditions, di ba? It's just a matter of parang surviving in the area by just knowing the language and all of that. But hindi ko naman makita yon with the younger people. Di ba? Wala nang ganung klaseng halos conditions with the younger people. I'm not that old, but I'm also not that young. So, parang
magkaedad tayo.
Yeah, we're in the middle. We're in the middle ground. We're in the middle
Yeah,
ground.
we
We're the
are.
last people who used the landline. Practically. So parang nandun eh. So, does it actually help yung ating languages na ganun yung condition? I mean, ang tendencies kasi is for the kids to adjust dun sa general language use. I mean, I don't want to go into the social media discussion
let's
about
not.
this. That's not. But ganun kasi yung point, eh, diba? They want to go with whoever.
They want to go with the flow.
Yeah, most users would go with sino yung mas marami nagsasalita because they want to be in basically with community that they're living in. So, I mean, and another aspect nitong language is yung languages natin in some way it becomes identity politics. Diba?
That's true. Our language is highly political.
They are.
Naalala mo yung idea ng dapat nagtatagalog sa Senado. Yung mga ganong drives.
Yeah, there was a time na wag silang mag-English or
English.
There was a time, sino ba itong senator?
Even that si Lito Lapid ata.
Lito Lapid, was asking everyone to speak in Tagalog.
Or Filipino. Even the term Filipino in Tagalog, that's highly politicized. That's highly controversial. That's one of the first few things I learned in linguistics. Parang, you don't use Filipino or you don't use Tagalog. Bahala kayo. Basta yun yung sinasalita ko.
But it's very interesting, di ba? If there is anything that would identify the differences between Filipinos by region, it's by language, diba? Nothing else.
By their culture.
Yeah,
It intertwines.
It mixes with that. Pero most of the time, if you want to associate with anyone, you start with the language. Diba? Malalaman ko taga saan sila, and then you try to invoke their uniqueness or their identity by asking them if they know the language. As yun yung nangyayari, and then you associate everything with that. As ganun din, and like I said, with identity politics, nangyayari to right now.
Diba? And that's the reason why linguistics is such an important course for the Philippines. Going back to that, it's always a race against time. We have so many languages. Tapos, what we call, medyo naka-right heavy tayo dun sa scale. Madaming nasa number 5, nasa gitna. But in reality, you're not entirely sure if... we're not sure if it's really developing. Some of the languages I've been in contact with, like Tagbanwa, or they're not really developing. Wala naman silang libro. Wala naman silang materials. Wala naman silang ginagamit sa preschool. Hindi siya, may mga swerte na nakakaintindi pa hanggang anak, bata, pero mas alam na yung iba. Meron pang mga ideas of paano yung mga nasa AITA, mga, yung mga ACTA languages nila. Kasama kasi ng lengguwahe yung discrimination eh. Some of them are willing to shed off their language because of the discrimination.
Again, it's a matter of
identity politics.
Identity, diba? Na just trying to be involved or trying to be in dun sa surroundings sila, and it ends up killing practically yung language within them.
But again, I really believe, as someone who's been taking linguistics for 5 years, na it depends on the community. Nasa community talaga kung gusto nilang gamitin yung lengguwahe nila, kung gusto nilang i-revitalize yung lengguwahe nila, kung merong mga programs just to make sure that we pass on our heritage, our oral heritage. And majority of our heritage din is in the oral literature. We might even lose that.
Yeah, yun nga. Going back, we're both from Baguio.
Baguio.
And oral tradition and all that sa ating mga kapatid na Cordillerans, Igorots, Ifugaos, Kangkanaes and all that. They're all oral tradition. And you look at the Cordilleras itself. It's yung sobrang liit na region na ito has how many languages?
Ang dami. Parang
diba?
pumunta ka lang ng La Trinidad. Iba-ibang
Iba-iba
lengguwahe
na
na
yan.
yan.
I mean,
Punta kayong trading post.
We were just talking about this the other day na if you go through 3 municipalities in Mountain Province, each one has a different language.
Yes.
So you can see yung diversity of how languages actually thrives in such small areas. I mean, it's amazing na ganun nangyari. But again, going with yung flow nung economies, going on the flow with yung times and all of that. Of course, Ilocano yung magiging base ng mga bata sa point of communicating with other people and also with the general public. So, I'm not sure, I mean, kung gaano pa nagtatrive yung Cordilleran languages.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Tualis, Kalanguya, Kangkanae, Ifontok, a lot of languages na I had never even heard of before I was still in Baguio, na hindi mo malalaman na there's such big differences within those languages, and you don't know how many people are actually speaking the language anymore.
Yes.
Especially doon sa Cordilleras, it's such a small population.
Yeah.
So, I mean, are there any initiatives when it comes to UP or any other institutions regarding, I mean, saving yung mga languages natin?
Yes, there actually is. For UP Linguistics, Department of Linguistics, there's always this drive to make grammar sketches of all the languages.
Sketches.
So grammar sketch is a primary description of the language. Nandun yung phonological description niya, yung morphology niya, morphosyntax, verbal sentences, so all the linguistic things that you would need, yung technical linguistics, and nandun din. Then we also add in some oral literature, we add in some commonly used phrases like kamusta ka, yan, kamusta ka, anong oras na, yung mga, at least yung mga ganun, nilalagay namin sa grammar sketch. Halos for the recent years, if I'm not mistaken, yun yung karamihan ng thesis ng undergrad at ng masters, kasi it is a race against time.
Yeah.
We're not entirely sure if there would
ang ingay po ng door, I'm sorry. Anyway, go.
We're not entirely sure if kung developing ang isang language, kung developing talaga siya, pagdating namin doon, may nagsasalita pa.
Diba?
Ang daming instances na gano'n na, we're too late. So, lalo na yung mga older linguists namin, kailangan na natin gawin to. Kailangan natin makausap yung community para sila rin maging aware. Even the community we went to, they're so proud na, Butuanan kami, nagsasalita kami yung Butuanas, parang, yung mga kasama ko na marunong Binisaya. Hindi na. They're mixing it. That's why they're shifting.
Okay. That's
medyo
interesting.
Delikado na siya.
But even within yung communities, you're saying na they believe yun yung original language.
Oo.
Pero
Pero if you listen to it, tapos yung mga person namin, 76, 79, 60s, tapos ang tindi ng contrast from 40s. And at 40s, yung sinasabi na niya na dun sa elicitation material namin ay binisaya na.
So
na
makikita
Butunganon.
you actually see kung saan yung
Oo.
generation where it started
It started to
change.
shift. It started to shift. Even them, they're already starting to shift. All it takes sometimes for a community is to be aware. And we're really trying, I believe most of us in linguistics are really trying to first make them aware, and second, try to understand their attitude with the language and see if they want to revitalize it. It does not lie with the linguist alone.
Yeah, of course.
Well, it really does rely on the community.
I mean,
Nasa kanila yung drive kasi sila yung gagamit. Pag sinabi sa amin, at merong instances, may kinwento sa amin si Sir Subiri. He's the one taking care of the dying languages na nasa 8 and below. Yun na yung inaasikaso niya. Ganun na kasama. Yung inaasikaso niya na wala ka nang magagawa pag sinabi sa'yo, ayaw na namin. Kasi may negative connotations eh.
Yeah, probably merong political connotation yung pagsasalita or association man lang with the language that they don't want to be linked with.
Yung isang pinuntahan namin sa Palawan, yung mga Tagbanwa Aborlan speaker, may mga kwento sila na, Tagbanwa kasi yan, tanga yan. Teacher.
It's a teacher.
It's a teacher. Teacher ang nagsabi nun.
Amazing.
Parang,
good morning to you, ma'am.
Ma'am, nako. Ma'am, babalikan ka ta.
So,
yung bata.
associate nila intelligence with the language.
With the language, which is
thing
another
that's
thing
happening,
altogether. And, pero at least buo yung community na, hindi, Tagbanwa tayo. Nagmamalaki tayo. May mga aral tayo. Yan. Swerte ang Cordillerans, to be honest. Kasi, so first, for IPs, they do consider Cordillerans as one of the most intelligent IPs out there.
Yeah,
and they really try to preserve their heritage.
There's a certain level of pride sa mga Cordilleras and yung makita with other IPs talaga.
IPs.
Because I don't know, it might have been because really self-determination, the concept of self-determination, nandun nag-root lahat kami nung mga ganong klaseng concepts.
Yung hindi talaga sila nagpasako,
mga ganong klaseng bagay.
If they do know how to speak English, is because they welcome them. Hindi kami sinakop.
Yeah.
Partnership siya.
Just part of the education na bumagsak sa kanila, basically.
So, yung attitude then matters so much with the language.
Interesting.
It's a heavy topic.
It is. Pero it's not. Think about this. Language is not something we talk about.
That's true. It's something we do.
What a pun.
What a pun.
Diba?
It's true.
Pero ganung klaseng bagay. And again, we're rooting ourselves sa politics nung language. And right now, our president is Mindanaoan. Everyone suddenly is from Mindanao. Diba? And they try to basically be associated with yung administration right now, and the idea of power, of having power, as Mindanao is in the helm now, and all that. But it's a matter of just language. It's a matter of language lang naman. And another interesting aspect sa Pilipinas, already have 157 native languages. And there's a new term na narinig ko lang in class natin, just this term, socialex.
Yes.
Diba? And the Philippines is another area wherein socialex exists. Baka pwede mong bigyan kami ng idea what a socialect is.
A socialect is a language that is used in a specific social group.
Social. Okay.
It's a specific social group. So, Konyoism is sometimes considered as a socialect. Yung gay speak is another socialex. Sila lang yung nagkakaintindihan, and it strengthens their identity. So, it shows how our languages and us as Filipinos are very diverse, and at the same time, it shows how our language is, what do you call this again? Parang madaling gumawa ng mga bagong salita.
Yeah.
Yun, madaling manganak ng mga bagong konsepto kasi yung lengguwahe natin allows for such transformations. The term pumapag-ibig is not, it's not
What? Pumapag-ibig. Okay.
May edad ka na nga.
Oh God.
Yung
It's
term na
awful.
pumapag-ibig, kung pakikinggan mo siya, parang, ano to? Pero, it fits our rules. sumaswak siya.
Mhm.
We're just waiting it out. Bumaba to. Is it like the emo culture?
Mhm.
I'm not sure. Yung hugot, even. These are what we call social left na umaangat na lang.
Mhm. Just comes out like I mean some of the recent
Sumisingit.
ones are Jejemon language.
Judgment language.
Na
That's another type.
gladly died on its own.
Text speak, mga
Text speak,
ganon.
yeah.
Yung parang, these are the languages. You would say they're languages or social languages na fits the grammar of your native language, Tagalog. Then you're just using different words, different vocabulary para magkaintindihan kayo. And you could say that you're part of that group.
Mhm. See, that's the aspect of language na hindi nakikita ng karamihan. The power of what language does is just creating groups basically. Or creating involvement, attracting people and all of that. Na hindi natin basta-basta nakikita. Just akala natin it's just about growing up in a specific area. At yun, nagkataon yun yung language mo and all that. Yeah, that's what you speak. Pero again, language is developing, as you said. It's shifting, it's changing. Some of it are dying. And we're just trying to work out yung quirks of everything that just comes out.
And it really does affect our identity. There's an interesting TED talk that she defined how language affects your personality. Na parang, if, pansinin mo rin, kung nag-Ilocano ka, mas forward ka, mas malinaw yung gusto mo. Pag Tagalog, medyo mas
mabola.
Mas mabola.
Mas malambing.
Mas maikot. Ganun, hiligay no, napakalambing. Napakalambing sa tenga, napakalambing sa salita. English is also very straightforward if you think about it. And that in itself shapes our personality. It also shapes our attitude when we speak that language. Yun din yung mga interesting na tinitignan. That's psycholinguistics, by the way. So,
yeah, ang interesting din. Actually, that's one thing na natutunan ko with just a few stuff learning about Cordilleran languages. I mean, there are actually words that do not exist dun sa languages nila. Like, diba, like, again, if you don't know it yet, yung documentary na Walang Rape sa Bontoc, it's not actually just about the aspect na walang nangyayaring rape, but because wala yung exact word. Meaning rape dun sa Bontoc. And then, there's another aspect kung saan in Apayao, there's no word for thank you. Because, basically, they don't use thank you because yung kanilang living is all about community life. Everything is shared, everything is given. So there's no point to say thank you. So wala yung word doon sa long list. And you see, akala mo it's a matter of them being impolite, being bastos kasi walang po sa Ilocano. Di ba? Walang po sa Ilocano and all of that. So all of it is that. Pero merong salutations of manang, uncle, auntie, yung mga bago na yan, di ba? But these are just adjustments. But again, akala mo it's impolite, but pag nag-translate into Tagalog or Filipino, they don't say po. Then suddenly they're bastos.
They come off as rude.
Rude, di ba?
Kahit ako nung bumaba ako dito sa Maynila, may strong na nga yung personality ko, strong pa yung language ko dahil sa Ilocano. Pero yung interesting kasi, yung nuances ng Ilocano, parang ang lambing ng mag-asawa sa Ilocano ay manang ko. So, pag nagpapakilala, diba sa ating asawa, pero ito, manang ko, it actually says, this is my old woman. Manong ko, he is my old man. If you think about it, parang nilalait mo, matanda.
And even older, lakay, bakat.
Pero, bakat ka. Pero, akin.
Yeah, mayroong...
Yun yung hindi yun nakikita. Dun yung lambing ng Ilocano. Meron din siya sa iba't ibang lengguwahe.
Yeah, I mean, yung medyo pangga. Which is sobrang lambing ng even how it ends ang pangga, lambing niya, di ba? So, ganun din, the same idea. So, again, yung parang na-identify, like you said, marami ang na-ostracize or they're pushed away because they're being identified with the language. But again, people should understand that there are some things that are different with the language na they cannot just be directly translated dun sa gusto mong language na gamitin. And that's what's really killing yung ating identity. But again, it's a tribal politics. Because all of this is tribal politics. It doesn't matter. But going back, how are yung mga efforts ngayon dito when it comes to our languages? What do you see dun sa future ng ating linguistics dito?
Alam mo, sa totoo lang, there's that highly hopeful view of mine that really states na if people are just aware that their language is part of their identity, that their language permits so many things in their everyday lives, they would actually take care of it. If there's one thing that's really a value that's about Filipinos, then is how we take something and take it as our own. The Filipino pride, diba? And if you transfer that into their language, sila rin na rin mismo yung gagalaw para ma-preserve yan. And that's really what I believe. All I think in the advent of social media and the advent of globalization, kung may idadagdag natin yung idea na be aware of your roots, be aware of your language, and use it, parang malayo na rin yung mararating nun. And it's really all we can hope for. Another side of thing, it's not, parang bigyan mo lang talaga ng respeto kung saan ka nanggagaling. It doesn't mean to say na huwag kang gumalaw patungo dun sa ano yung kailangan mong mga lengguwahe para mag-survive sa career, mag-survive dito sa Maynila. Pero huwag mo lang kalimutan kung saan ka nanggagaling. Ayun. That's what, for me, that's what I believe. And in the efforts of what we do, I really don't speak for the department, but in the efforts of what we do, all it takes is to be aware.
Yeah,
And
knowledge.
Knowledge is power. Ernie Baron. Bilang
RIP.
generasyon tayo ng
RIP, Ka-Ernie.
Ka-Ernie. Generasyon tayo ni Ka-Ernie. There's that, diba, optimistic view of doing things.
Interesting though, yung talk about social media and being aware. I mean, there's just to fend it off a little. Kasi masyado na serious yung mga tao. Have you seen yung viral video of the Filipino woman?
Oo.
Oh yeah.
Gusto nating sabunutan lahat.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know who you are. I don't want to judge you for who you are, but come on. Come on, girl.
Pero yun yung nakakatuwa kasi yung accent niya.
It's Filipino.
Oo.
Diba? Filipino.
Ano talaga eh. Pero kung iisipin mo na lang, baka iba kasi yung she's thinking Tagalog.
Yeah,
Pero
probably.
she's thinking Tagalog. Pero paano kung ang first language niya ay hindi Tagalog?
It could have been. Kaya
Diba?
hindi niya matranslate
Hindi niya
whatever she was
matranslate na
thinking.
mabuti. So it's merong difference in expectation. So that's one of the things I actually started learning when I go to the community. They're really trying hard for them to speak Tagalog. Kasi ang nangyayari po, pag nagtatranslate tayo sa utak natin, you speak first in your native language,
Yeah, exactly.
then you translate it pa. Paano kung pangatlong lengguwahe na lang nila yung Tagalog? So,
Malayo na siya.
Malayo na siya. So, minsan sa ASI. Tapos, ita-translate niya sa Binisaya. Sa translate niya sa Tagalog. Ang dami na pong nawala doon. Doon na lang yung iniisip ko na, ito na lang ate yung iisipin ko, kaya kaganyan.
Might have been may language gap.
May language gap
nangyari sa
talaga.
processing niya.
Siguro, diba, just in case, be patient din sa mga hindi galing sa imperialistang Maynila. Yes! Paisingit
Imperial
lang.
Manila.
Imperial Manila. Kasi minsan, yung mga kausap natin, ganun yung translation. Or, some of them, sa Bisaya, English, so saka magtatagalog. You could just always ask, are you more comfortable Tagalog? Are you more comfortable English? Pwede naman tayo mag-English. And that does not demean a person. The person and the language. It's just a matter of, you need something to communicate. So, gamitin mo kung ano yung available.
That's very interesting. Nung at the times na nagpupunta rin ako sa Cebu, they back off kung minsan.
Pag Tagalog.
It's a matter of them not really being comfortable. It's not that they're rude. Again, it's not about being rude, guys. It's not they're not really comfortable about it. Pero, I mean, you have to understand din na you're the visitor.
Naman.
Diba? You're the visitor at that point. So, kailangan ikaw rin yung mag-adjust, not talk smack on Facebook kasi hindi ka pinansin ng isang tao. So,
baka hindi ka na naintindihan. Baka kailangan mo ulitin. Be patient, guys.
And
Let's just celebrate our diversity.
Yeah, talking about yung the ability or the capability to speak up, you actually have a project right now. Let's call it a project. It's in partnership with the Department of Science and Technology. You developed an app, and just recently you were on the road promoting itong
The
app
app.
na to. And what exactly is the app? So at least malaman muna natin for our listeners.
Ayun, since tumatawid na tayo sa sumasakop na malingwahe. Our application, Talk, so that's TOCKY space talk, TALK, is available on Google Play Store. It's an application that would help you with your interview presentation skills and some of your English comprehension skills. So, ang maganda kasi dito sa Talk, it has really, really short videos that teaches you on interviews kasi 3 lang po yung modules nung application namin on interviews, on presentation, and comprehension. In interviews, it would teach you how to create a resume. It would teach you the 5 commonly asked questions, how to answer them. It would teach you how to dress up. Guys, wag po tayong mag-attend ng interview na naka-short shorts. Utang na loob po.
Short shorts.
Unless na it's an interview for you to become a model. Wear smart casual or business casual or just study about the company. Yung mga small things na ganun that's in the app. For presentation, it would teach you how to capture the main idea of your report, how to create an outline, how to create slides, what not to put on slides, what to do the day before, during the talk, and after the talk. Kasi syempre, kailangan mo rin. Lalo na for people who's on the ground training other people. Kasi may mga training seminars. Always try to improve your talk. Kasi iba't ibang lengguwahe, iba't ibang tao. So that's something that you do after the presentation. That's all in the app.
So what brought about itong the whole thing? I mean, why are you doing this? Kasi parang most people would think, I can just find this, di ba? Parang gano'n na why the development of such an app?
Our team, specifically, we always believe in doing something for Filipinos by Filipinos that localizes and contextualizes the knowledge. So, yung maghahanap ka online ng 5 commonly asked questions, sigurado ka ba nasa Pilipinas yan? So, that's one of the things that we considered. Another is, this is a DOST project, and any DOST project is a research project. So, DOST asked a vital question: what are the competencies our graduates lack? Specifically, way back in 2010, there's a study on what are the competencies our graduates lack as the industry says. So, meron dyan yung English. Number 1 lagi si English.
Okay.
English communication skills, then computer literacy, then social skills, then yung last ay critical thinking and problem solving.
Okay.
So, this is Talk answers a very specific gap and addresses a very specific need. Kaya nasa 3 lang siya. Let's start with interviews first. If you can't speak in straight English, pag Tagalog ka lang, okay lang naman yan. What matters is that you get your message across. Even in presentation, tumingin po kayo sa audience nyo. Wag lang po kayo magbasa. Some of these things are, you would say, common sense. But once you're there, would you actually do it? Do you actually know how you look like when you talk to someone, when you present?
Okay,
and that's what the app would offer at least.
So talking about now yung ganong klaseng option, what are your special features nung app na dinevelop niyo for DOST?
So yung besides the fact that it has very short video lessons to cater to our kids, to cater to the younger generation, less than 3 minutes lang po siya. So for every video lesson, there's an activity. And our activities would have audio recordings wherein talagang it simulates an interview session. So if someone would ask you, tell me about yourself, then you record yourself. And there's a video counterpart of that. Kasi not all of our interviews are face-to-face na. Meron na through Skype. So the app would simulate someone talking to you and asking you, tell me about yourself. Then you'd record yourself telling that person about yourself, answering the question. Then you would get to the interview. So, para totoo talaga siyang interview and you get to rate yourself according to the lesson.
Okay.
So, it's practice. And this can make or break an interview, guys. And this can make or break a presentation. Kasi kung hindi ka komportable magsalita at kung hindi ganun ka-concise yung sasabihin mo, you just end up boring your interviewer. What's interesting, since this is a research project din pala, we tested it. We tested the app's effectiveness, kung nakakatulong talaga siya with both UP students, graduating students, and another school, Meralco Foundation Institute, na to see kung effective siya on both ends. Kung in the question, for the question, tell me about yourself, si UP students, ang haba ng sagot. Hindi po kailangan mahaba ang sagot.
Okay.
Tapos si MFI students, sobrang ikli. So it's a matter of getting the nice middle ground na you tell yourself what's your background, 2 sentences maybe, then you tell what you're planning to do and what interests you in the company, tapos.
Okay. And these are all details that you help out with the app, basically.
Yes.
And it's interesting kasi we would have known about yung unemployment problems sa Pilipinas and all of that, and I think hindi lang siya a matter of there are no jobs available, but are there actually anyone capable of taking the job? And it all starts with the interview, yung process, diba? Just to show that you are capable of doing the job. And I think the app in a modern way tries to fill that gap, as they say.
That's true.
Nung mga ganung klaseng bagay. I mean, kids now, of course, I'm sorry to say this, but you're overconfident.
That's true.
You're overconfident and you go into an interview overconfident, you would probably fail. And there are aspects of it na technical that they don't really teach in school. Diba? So again, although you dress up for reports, you dress up for seminars and all of that, the other aspect of actually interviews, the application process and all that, not a lot of schools teach that, diba?
They don't.
So and you said based on research, ito yung mga gaps na hindi nakukuha
ng schools.
Yung industries mismo nagsabi na they cannot find yung kailangan nila through that.
Yeah.
And the app tries to again address the issue regarding this. So this is now out. Is that correct?
Yes, it's now out in Google Play Store. Please
so it's for Android?
It's for Android. It's for Android lang po muna. And please do download it. It's for free. Another feature that we have, if once you download it, that's it. It's offline. You don't need the internet
that's good.
to play it. It's around 600 to 700 MB.
Okay, so
medyo
try to
malaki
find
because
a
of the
Wi-Fi
video.
connection na libre.
Just download mo na lang, tapos yun na yan. You can use the app. Another thing that's interesting about the app, even though it only has 3 modules, interview, presentation, and comprehension. The interview would get your foot in the door. The presentation and the comprehension would make sure
keep you in
that
desk.
you stay inside the door. But for presentation, there would be meeting reports. And maganda rin kasi sa pag-package namin sa presentation, you could take this out in how to write a report. Gawin mo lang siyang how to write a report even though you're not presenting it. Maingay po yung door.
Or nakikigami lang actually kami ng lounge at this time. So thank you so much to
our subject A.
No. Subject A. No, we can't say it. Anyway,
we can say it.
We're somewhere in UP right now. Yun na lang. And we're sober, don't worry. So going back, hindi lang siya nag-a-apply basically doon sa application,
presentation.
Diba?
Hindi lang basta sa presentation, nag-a-apply din siya for making reports sa how to make it concise. In comprehension naman, it focuses on reading comprehension. But it tackles very basic idea. How do you capture the main idea of what you're reading? How do you make sure that it stays in your head? Even in meetings, that's what you need. What's the main point of this? Did you get the agenda? Yung mga small nuances na yan, I like that term today. Yung mga maliliit na bagay na yan, that adds to your credibility as someone who works in any company. Mapa-industry man yan or mapa-academy. Pag nakuha mo kaagad yung kailangan mong gawin at gagawin mo siya kaagad, tapos pulido siya, it's all points for you.
And,
And
come to think of it, it does not only apply dun sa job seekers or
Yeah.
workers, even in school. These are just
Yeah.
basic stuff that you should know.
Yeah.
Tama, di ba? I mean, kung nahihirapan ka sa readings mo, it's a matter of comprehension.
Yeah.
It's a matter of trying to be critical about what you're reading, and also reports and all that. These are basic stuff that you do in school.
Another lesson that we have in comprehension is listening as an active skill. So even though you're listening, it doesn't, if you're not comprehending what you're hearing, you're not really listening. That really works for students. How there are 4 steps in active listening. Kasi yun, dinitalya siya isa-isa and how you can practice them. So, even as simple as, naiba kasi yung accent ni Ma. Yun. How do you get through it? How do you get past that? So, we try to train you in short bursts about it. So, it's very introductory. Pero it will definitely help you get started.
So again, it's online right now on Google Play. It's
Takitok.
Takitok. T-O
CKY
Taki.
space talk.
Takitok. It's in Google Play. It's for free again. Just have to download the whole app. It's offline.
It's offline.
So you can use this on the commute.
Oo.
You can use this anywhere na may time ka to try to study, not before the interview. Basically.
Well, we do have a section on before the interview just to prep you up.
Yeah, no, but not exactly before,
But not exactly before the interview.
Pag naghihintay ka dun sa waiting room ng company, you're not supposed to do that. It's not gonna help really. But it's for free. It's in collaboration with DOST.
And UP.
And UP. And it's a matter of just you helping yourself right now. Just download the app. Siguro mag-iwan na lang ako ng link below just so meron na kayong direct na way to get the app. It's just download the app. It's for free again. Taki Talk by Mantha, and the name of the group?
The name of the room is TikTok Tech Talk. Diba?
What is up with this?
All about time because it has to be short videos with technical graduates. So
And like
TikTok,
linguistics is
TikTok.
a fight against time.
It's a fight against time.
Everything
It's always
is about time.
It's because life is so fast, diba?
Well, that's a nice talk. We're 52 minutes into the
Wow,
to the podcast.
talaga?
Nagulat ka, no? It's
Oo
that
nga.
fast. So, is there anything like talking about time? Is there any last words na gusto mong sabihin?
Well, we did discuss 2 very different things.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Diba? So, number 1, really, be aware. Be aware of your roots. Be aware of your own language. And use them. Huwag mong kalimutan kung saan ka nang galing. And it's just a matter of honoring and respecting your own identity. It comes with that. And number 2, please do download Takitok. It will help you. If it does not help you, it will help another person. So, just let us know if you have any problems with that.
Alright. Thank you so much, Mantha Sadural. Again, Taki Talk is in the Google Play Store. Download it for free. Mantha is with UP right now. So we're in UP Diliman. If you have any questions, you can visit her here.
Well, message ka na lang nila.
Anyway, I'll just leave the link, and I guess nakalink naman dun yung kanilang group dun sa Google
Yes.
Store, so Google Play Store. Thank you so much, Mantha, for your time.
Thank you,
It's a
Ren.
great talk. For anyone listening, again, this is the Tiny Table Podcast. Remember, my friends, keep your ideas big, but your egos tiny. Take care, my friends.
This is the Tiny Table Podcast.